What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. You're back on with the angle, and I know I get it. I've been gone for a minute. I'm dropping all these videos with all these special guests. Where you been at? We ain't heard from you. It's all good, man. Life, it gets to you sometimes, but you get through it, and we are back. What better way to come back than with another special guest? This is somebody I've been knowing since college. College was the time. I've met a lot of good people in college, as y'all can see based off my interviews. The parlor nights, the talent shows, just she was so popular. I was like, oh my god, I want to be like her. Like I would get done dancing, and then she would get up and she get to doing some spoken word, and she'll have the whole room just like yeah, like this. I was like, how do you do that? How you? I don't get it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was brand new to the whole spoken word scene, seeing it, and then getting into college, meeting more people like herself, going out to the events. It's just it's great, man. So I got a real treat for y'all. She's doing big things in music as well. I love her sound. I love what she's doing, and she's one of my favorite people to just work with. Like we do projects together. I dance. She'll sing. She'll rap. I do dance covers to her song. Like y'all, it go back, man. Like Paradox. Please introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's up, y'all? As he said, I am Paradox. No, that's not my real name, but that is what you can call me. So I'm supposed to be speaking into this mic, and I still haven't learned how to do that. So don't judge me if you can't hear something throughout this interview. All right? Slash podcast. Stop saying interview. Paradox, as he said, I started as a spoken word poet. I did a lot of performances at open mics. Like he said, Parlor Nights at UALR. That was actually not actually. That was a really fun experience. To be honest, there was some dope people on those stages, to be honest. So shout out to UALR Parlor Nights. But also, like you said, I'm into music, so I'm a songwriter first and foremost. I have been writing music since I can remember, and I am currently learning how to produce and do audio engineering with the assistance of my mentor, Ferocious. I've been learning how to make music on my own, like in the home studio, since I think 2020 after COVID shut everything down, like you was talking about with the housing market. And I believe that since then, I have gathered enough knowledge to be able to make whatever kind of music I want to. So hopefully you'll hear something that you like. And if you do, and you were a singer, let me know and you can get the song. We can work together. I prefer to be the songwriter over the performer anyway. But you may see me performing again this year. I'm not sure. Got a couple things lined up. We're gonna pray that they fall through. And yeah, I'm happy to be here too, because I remember you would literally just be like in the courtyard at UALR just dancing. And I was like, what is this dude? He's a dancer. That's what he's supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I mean? So it's really cool to see somebody in their element just doing their thing and seeing how far it's taking you now. Like you've done a lot of collaborations, traveling technically.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do be traveling.
Yeah, so
when I can.
Competitions and shows and everything you've been doing. Like shout out to you because you've been growing and growing too. Don't do that.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. You gotta know me to know the growth thing. Like, and she know. You know what I'm saying? I almost forgot that I used to be outside on the college campus by the financial aid building dancing. Literally. And I would have like financial aid ladies come out and they'd be like, "Hey, look, on my lunch break, I'm watching because it's entertaining. Like I don't know what you're doing, but I like it. And people. I remember one time I was dancing by the financial aid building outside. It was bright day. I ain't had no class. Somebody came and gave me a quarter. And he was like, I don't want this to look bad. He was like, I only got a quarter, but I see what you're doing. Like you out here like really chasing your passion. Yeah. Like, yeah, I can see you are being meaningful in what you're doing. And I mess with that. And that's why I gave you this quarter. Like I wasn't being funny. And I was like, man, I appreciate that. Like showing my true passions to people and having people come up to me and like tell me what they see, what they feel from it was the biggest thing. And that's why I care so much about my dance craft and trying to grow and doing the best I can and moving and all this stuff is, so I appreciate that. I really do. But speaking back on like the parlor nights and how things were going back in the day and then what you trying to getting into producing and stuff now, I be watching your Facebook lives. She be up at like, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on Facebook Live. I'm like, what is she doing on Facebook Live? She producing beats. I'm like, okay. So I come in there and I comment some fire signs when I hear something I like and then I go to bed when I need to. But she be up doing her thing. Like I like to surround myself with people that's gonna put that work in. And you are one of those folks that's gonna put that work in and it shows all the time. And those are the kind of people that you have to be around if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to do something. Be around those kind of people. And I feel like we kind of have that connection in that relationship to where we can help each other grow We watch each other grow. We notice it because we've been around each other for so long, and it's been great.
It has been.
So listen, I have some interview questions,
Okay.
and I think this is going to be a really fun day today with what I got lined up. We got some good stuff, man. Let's see. Let's start it off with this. How did you discover your talent?
Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know. Okay, so when you say talent, do you mean like for music? Like,
Yes, let's go with me. Yeah.
what did you mean when you wrote it?
What I meant was basically just overall, because I feel like the spoken word and what you do in song, it kind of has to go in. It kind of coincides because it's all about writing.
Okay, so I'll put it like this. Like I said before, I've always been writing music. I've always been writing technically poetry too. So I remember the first time I ever participated in poetry. I was a little girl, and I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I ever told anybody this story. It's so strange, but I was a little girl, and it was like a full moon or something outside. Maybe it wasn't a full moon. Maybe it was just like full to me at the time. But I just freestyled this random poem about the moon and like the light dancing on the grass blades at night, and like I tried to do it again and it didn't work. So like the first time I was like, that sounds really cool. I wish I could remember the poem, but that's the first instance I ever remember of poetry. So spoken word. After that, I think we always had these writing assignments in school, and I really like doing the poetry ones. So, of course, when we would, well, excuse me, when we was like in the fifth grade or something,
Mm-hmm.
fourth grade, we just had those writing assignments. I actually really liked those. So I think that the spoken word and the poetry part came from my love at the time of writing, and it kind of translated into music because of how much I enjoy music just as a consumer, like as a listener. Um, it didn't turn into me writing music until after I started to perform spoken word. Of course, I had been writing music already because since I was writing, I could write verses, I could write songs, but I didn't realize that it was a talent until I actually like got a reaction from somebody outside of myself. So when I would be performing or when somebody would read something that I would like and they say this is really good, like I didn't realize it was a talent until it was something that somebody else liked. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
So I liked it when I was writing it because I thought it was creative. It was just fun to do. But until somebody was like, "That's good," I didn't realize that it was like something that people wanted to be able to do sometimes. Does that make sense? So that's kind of how that turned out. I don't know if that makes sense
That's
completely, but
that's interesting. Okay. Okay. So I relate with that. Not like just talent wise, just about like the experience of writing in like the early stages of trying to get into poetry. I write. I don't know if I told you that I do like short stories, and my stuff is it came from a place of like sadness and depression. I was going through life stuff, emo phase stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if we get to call it that, but I was just dealing with some stuff in my life that I
yeah,
that I that I felt like I was the only one that was dealing with it. You know how it is when you going through something in life and you really like genuinely feel like in your heart you the only one dealing with it. That's kind of where I was at, and I just started writing, and then it started turning good. And I would have writing assignments in high school, going into college, and they were like really messing with it. And I just kept writing. I have like 3 journals just full of short stories. It's mostly sad stuff, but it came from that type of place. But because of that, I discovered that I want to do something with writing. I want to write a book one day. Well, I want to start writing books one day and sell it and see how it does and see what people think about the way I think. And so I relate with that on that level because it's something that I had experience with myself. But I'm not a singer songwriter though, so it's still a little bit different. But I wanted to relate with you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I messed with that answer. Though. I think that was a really good answer. That's a good response.
mm,
Let's see.
I'm excited to hear some of these stories at some point, and
So
also this book.
Well, I can tell you real quick. So the first book I'm going to write, I already got it. Unless my mind changes, I'm going to wait until I'm like 30 or 40. I know it sounds long, but I want more life experience. I want like what I'm writing about to be genuine, and I want to feel wise. So that's gonna come from somebody that's a little bit older. That's kind of my thought process. The first book I'm going to write is called "Move to Texas become a man. So if y'all hearing this podcast right now, in the next 10, 15 years, look out for that. Move to Texas, become a man. Moving from Little Rock, Arkansas, where I'm from, to Texas, it has been something. A lot of life just kind of, and it's not like it's just like, oh, you getting into the real world now, you get to see how it is. It's like yes and no. I kind of knew what I was doing when I was doing it, but it's still some other aspects of life that kind of just don't hit you until you get on your own, away from the family. Part of it is like breaking generational curses from my family personally, and learning how to be on my own, stand on my own feet to start my own thing. And that's kind of where a lot of it comes from. But man, like it's you get out there, Texas is the biggest state in the world, the US, the world. So many people, so many opportunities, and so many life lessons to just learn. And so I feel like I was like, I can write a book about this. It's so much stuff that's just happening out here. And I've grown so much more in the 2 years I've been in Texas than all my life that I've been out here. In it, I don't know if it's because I left or if it's because it's Texas. I don't know, but we'll find out in the book when I get to writing it. But the level of growth that I've had just being out there and just having to figure ish out at all times, it's been crazy. So that's my first book. That's what I got.
We ready for it. We gonna be patient for it, but we ready for it.
Yes, I think it's gonna be worth the wait. I really do. Um. All right. So I do have another great question. Right. What is the passion and the ambition behind your work ethic? Because I was just talking about how you'll be up at 2 in the morning producing, letting people hear what you got, want to get their feedback. Like, what's your drive for that?
Um, so the drive is just I don't want to lose it. Like everybody says and everybody knows, if you don't use something that you know, you will lose it. So if I stop making music,
My mama told me that.
I'm gonna lose the ability to make music. So that's the drive. I never want to lose the ability to make music. It doesn't matter what the medium is, if it's on a computer, if it's with instruments, if it's with my voice, if it's just writing it. I don't ever want to be able to lose that. So that's the drive, to always be able to make music. The passion is, I think I put this on paper a long time ago, but the passion in my music is based on emotional freedom. So if I feel like in a song I'm not able to be emotionally free, I won't be able to release the song, which is why I haven't released many songs. It's I have a collection of, archives. That's what they call them nowadays. Like I have archives that haven't been published because I haven't placed the emotion in them the way that they should be. And so when you ask about the passion and the music and the writing and everything, it's literally just being able to release in a way that feels honest and whole. Because otherwise, it's just making music for everybody else. And it's like, if I'm always making music for everybody else, then like, what is it doing for me? You know
that
what
makes
I mean?
sense.
It's not something I'm gonna want to hold on to if that's the case.
Okay. I mess with that because I be listening to what you have out on your links and you have a lot of different things going on in the collection of music that you have. Like you have something called the L word. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones because see, here's my thing. I'm not really big on spoken word because I feel like it's very try hard when I go to these spoken word events and people are kind of like da 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 da, and you ain't see that because, and I'm like, oh. It feel like it's aggressive and they coming at me, and I'm here for a conversation. I'm here for the. That's what I'm here for. But when you do spoken word, I feel like I still get that. And then also when I'm listening to spoken word, it might be because I'm not intellectual enough. I don't know. You can let me know. I don't always catch it. When you give yours, I catch it, and that's what I like so much. Like when you do the parlor nights and you doing spoken word, I'm like, I gotta give it up. I heard everything she said, and I get it. I can't say that for the last guy, but the L word, I like that. I like that a whole lot. My favorite track, is very biased. Is touch me. Yeah, so I have to put myself in an emotional mindset, state of mind to make the dance piece. So y'all should. I'm gonna try to see if I can drop a link for that. Y'all should check it out. I did a dance piece to her track, "Touch Me." It's fire. I really like how you did your voice on the song. I'm really big on high pitch sounds in songs. So all of my favorite singers or songs come from people or the women who give a really high pitch, and so that I love it. And so what I had to do in the process of creating for that was I had to put myself mentally there while you were just giving your spiel, and I think that's why it molded together as well as it did. It looks really good, and so that's why it's definitely my favorite track.
I think both of those videos that you did to that song were really good. They definitely had different energies.
Yeah.
You did one to the piece that Main Street did at the end of the song, the poem that Main Street did at the end of the song, and then to I think the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
First verse one, I really liked how you caught the cameras, like the angles, and then like the light and the movement. With the one you did in the room to the poem, I think that one was a lot more personal and like connected in a way. So I really, what you were saying about like the L word and the poetry thing, I want to come back to that real quick because the way that people I think should begin to approach spoken word and poetry is the same way that we approach music. There are different genres. There are different types of performers when it comes to spoken word.
I did not know that.
Well, I don't think it's something that's like spoken. It's just you see it because if you go to like 10 different open mics, you're gonna see like 10 different types of performers. But at some point, they're going to start to look like the last one. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just you'll be able to categorize them in a way. So if you find yourself listening to an artist, a performer, a spoken word performer that you don't quite understand, try thinking of it like the difference between listening to R&B and like country. Because then you'll get to see that it's coming from a different place than you're, I guess, used to, or that you're comfortable with, like giving your input on, if that makes sense.
I like that analogy a lot.
See, some things make sense.
It's the reason why I like it a lot is because I work many jobs, and so for my driving job, I work for a rideshare company that's specific to Dallas. Mm-hmm. I play the when I'm not playing a radio station, the people who are passengers, they have an app, and on the app they can control the music in the car. They can do whatever they want. I have no say so. Okay. They play now. The clientele that we have is a lot of rich people, and they play a lot of country. And so I've been having to get accustomed to it because I'm not a country fan. I can now see why people like country.
Okay.
I get it. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna go download it. I'm not gonna put it on my playlist, but I get it. They're just telling a story. Literally, it's just a story the whole way through. It just might not the cadence you might not be accustomed to, and just the sound of the instruments that they use or how they speak in their voice. But if you listen to the lyrics and get behind the emotion, you can get it. And so I've been like, okay, if they put some country on, I ain't gonna complain because I'm finna try to find the story and what I like in it, and I mess with it. It's cool. I ain't gonna download it, but I gotta specify. But
I'm complain about it though.
I ain't gonna complain no more. I get it. And nowadays with how rap is going, and I'm speaking just rap. I'm not talking hip hop, the culture. Rap right now is so irritating when I turn the radio station on. And it's not even, at first it was sex, money, drugs. That was already a problem. Now it's just sex. And it's on the guys and the girl side. And it's every song I hear on it gets on my nerves. So I'm having to like get new playlists and make stuff up for myself to get comfortable. And I'm hoping that, hip hop eventually has a change. Hopefully. And I know what's going on is just, they're trying to push to the media, to the masses where the money's at. And right now the money's just going to where everybody's just only talking about sex. If that's where the money's going to be, that's what we're going to put down. And I get it, but I don't like it. So we got to get more accustomed to listening and putting on the underground rappers that's doing their thing, that's doing real rap, like, and let them and make them become mainstream like JID. I'm big on JID. I was late on understanding who JID was, and I hate that I was so late on him.
Yeah.
But I love JID. Like, bro, when he came out, when I finally came out to understanding his music and getting accustomed to who he was, I said, yeah. And now surround sound is making mainstream moves. Surround sound been out for so long, and I'm just like, and they just danced to the first verse. I love the second half of surround sound. No, not 21 part. The part that's after that. Yes, that when he started going crowd like he's going crazy on this beat. I'm in the car like this, like I'm driving to work. I got my little suit on. Like, what you doing? Like, I'm getting ready for work. I'm getting pumped up. JID.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
don't
So
play with
that's what I'm liking right now. I'm trying to get away from this mainstream music and bring back that real hip hop. I definitely kind of went a different way from where we was just at, but that's kind of part of it. Like I kind of started getting all into it. What
Well,
What do you think though about how rap is sounding right now, specifically mainstream rap?
okay. I'm going to bring in somebody who is definitely well in his means to make this statement, and that is Lil Wayne. So,
Ooh,
okay.
you know, my
So,
girlfriend know Lil Wayne is my guy.
okay. So he did an interview, right? And basically he was saying that when the people, I don't want to say complain, but when people say that they don't believe the music that is covering the radios now, the rap music specifically, that
Mm-hmm.
is actually music, that they have to reconsider because that's what's on the radio. That is real music now. You know what I mean? That's like, that's that a whole nother perspective that you may not be able to actually like hold on to simply because that's not your perspective. The only thing about that is it's lucrative. Sex is always gonna be lucrative. Sex is
Always.
the first job. You know what I mean? So sex, money, drugs,
Mm-hmm.
those are all things that people are always gonna be talking about because it's not just drugs in like illegal senses. It's like medicinal now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I'm not talking about marijuana or anything like that. But I do mean things that were invented in labs as medication are now also being spoken about on these songs. So even if you don't find yourself, you know, understanding that like this music is harmful, you're still gonna find yourself realizing that it's making people money, so it has to continue. And I don't always know who is making money for, but I do know that it's lucrative. So, like he said, that's music now. And if we want to get past it, we have to offer a new perspective that is more lucrative or
Yeah.
more interesting.
So basically, the perspective on it is it kind of falls back on the consumer. We have to demand a different sound, and then they'll give it. But if we only accepting Sexy Red and Ice Spice, that's what they're gonna give us.
Well, who is us? You mean like all of the consumers at once?
All of the consumers for rap.
So all of the consumers for rap, if we began to focus on underground music more than we focus on mainstream artists, then I believe more people would attend underground music events.
Mm-hmm.
And then those ideas would probably get translated in more places, and depending on who's able to like catch on to those, um, is going to decide how it shows up in mainstream. So we like J. Cole, you know what I mean? Because he has not only a mainstream ability, but because he can wreck a song simply because he's a great rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have people like J. Cole. People like we have people like Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is an amazing lyricist. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And we have people who came before they was over here, like MC Light, of course, Queen Latifah, like
MC Light
rap
was
music.
tight. MC
You
Light was
know,
tight.
so people see,
It failed.
yeah, it did. But basically, once we're able to retranslate the message that we want to send into something that is more capturing for the consumer, it'll be easier. Like everybody knows something about Gracie's Corner simply because the music is catchy. What sound does the letter make? You know what I mean? It just keeps going. If we are able to like, because I don't want to down anybody like Ice Spice. Like she's making music too. Like even if you feel like it's not good to you, it's good to the people that's listening to it.
Okay.
And the music that you listen to probably isn't good to those folks that's
Yeah.
listening to Ice Spice. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get it. We have to allow people to have their spaces to make the music that they're making because it is still music at the end of the day.
Yes, I think the problem comes because we're trying to compare
Mm-hmm.
the mainstream that we hear on the radio to the things that we see at these underground shows.
Yeah.
With these underground artists. Honestly, they're not very underground. Like the artists you see in let me talk about Little Rock specifically. I'm not from Little Rock, but I know a lot of people from Little Rock now simply because I've lived here for so long. The artistry here is insane.
It is.
Like you got I'm gonna name some names real quick because it's necessary. We have lyricists like Kadeem, we have lyricists like Red Lipstick, we have poets and performers like Drika, we have people out here revamping the poetry scene, like Bali Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
There is talent and artistry out here, and it's not talent or artistry that can be compared to a mainstream artist because the goals are different.
Okay. I mess with this. I like this. I know all those names. And yeah. Going back to some of the mainstream people I know, like I like Ice Spice as a person because I've seen some interviews and she seemed like a chill, down to earth type individual who you can hang out with. Like kind of like Nicki Minaj. I've seen like Nicki Minaj do a Jimmy Kimmel segment where she went. I don't know who it was. It was a late night show host type of guy. I don't know who. They got several, but she went out to eat. Maybe it was Conan, and they was at this Red Lobster. And they was chilling. I was like, I would hang out with Nicki. She seemed fun. She go to Red Lobster, making a big scene, and it's a good time and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I see like some of these other people. Like maybe they music I might not connect with, but that doesn't describe who they are as a person, how they are, and what the interaction would be. Okay, I appreciate that perspective.
Absolutely.
And that's what the angle is all about. Perspective. I was gonna name it that, but it was somebody else's name already, so I went ahead and just name it the angle.
Oh, he's a good artist too. He's a great artist too.
Somebody named what? Perspective?
Yeah. UALI?
I didn't know about Perspective. Mm-hmm. Okay, we gotta talk about him. So, another question. Do you currently have or have had mentorship? And I think you mentioned that already, but if you want to expound on that some more.
Currently, yes, I am being mentored by Dondre Vincent, aka Ferocious Productions. Listen.
Yeah, we just gonna.
Okay. I'm currently being mentored by Dondre Vincent, aka Ferocious Productions, who is an amazing audio engineer, producer, songwriter, nominated. Like, he's the SHIT. Shout out to Ferocious. He's teaching me. I'll say this: what I have learned so far from Ferocious has sped up my work ethic. Not so much so that a lot of people can tell the difference, but because what used to take me, I don't know, a week to do will only take me like 3 days to do, even if it's the same song. You know what I mean? Because that, I don't know. He teaches me a lot of different small engineering methods in a way that the majority focuses on when it comes to audio. I've been able to sit in on sessions with him and some of his other loyal clients. We've had some conversations about how he manages clientele, like how he maintains relationships, because that's also a very important part of business.
Yes, I agree with that.
So he let me lead a session one time. That was really cool. I did the recording part, and I think you call it tracking nowadays. So I did the tracking. What was I about to say? I think that everything that I've learned so far is just making me a better songwriter because it allows me to move quicker and not second guess myself as much. A lot of the stuff that I learned from him was stuff that I was focusing on while I was learning how to produce, but I didn't know how to fix it. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been about 5 months, almost 4 months, something like that. And yeah, it's fun. It's something that I actually wanted to do. It's fulfilling. So yeah, that's the only mentor I've ever had, though.
All right. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Mentorship is a big deal for somebody to, you don't always need it. You can kind of be this person that just kind of dig yourself up. But I feel like people progress a lot better when they got some one-on-one mentorship. I look for that in my dance all the time. I'm still trying to find that all the way. I might have met a guy and things have kind of been going pretty well, and I really respect him a whole lot, and I kind of have to like let time do his thing, let time tell how that relationship is going to continue to flourish. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely grown in the couple of months that me and him have been working together in this mentorship mentee relationship. So I'm glad that you found somebody that you can really put your trust into. Let's see here. What okay, no, that's the wrong one because you already answered that. I'm gonna ask you anyway because it could be different. Okay. So you have a mentor. Mm-hmm. If there's somebody in the industry or somebody that's underground, whoever you respect the most in what you do in your lane, who would you seek guidance from if you can have a say so in that?
Missy Elliott.
That's fire. That's a big name. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Missy Elliott. Missy, we gotta tag Missy on. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
He
We
gonna be
gotta
happy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That would be crazy. I'd be like, I know her, Missy Elliott. Yes, like people. She kind of. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Missy Elliott. Like and then her work ethic is great. She came into the game and her goal was to be different, and it was seen as different and respected as different. It wasn't. Oh my god, yeah, I mess with that. That's okay. So why Missy Elliott?
Missy Elliott is like Black feminine power at its highest. To be honest, I don't know what to say. Engineer, producer, songwriter, director. Like she literally does everything, and I think that her music has gone. It's always had its own flavor. I say Missy Elliott's music has always had its own flavor, and I think for that reason she's been able to translate it into all of these new different generations of music. So of course she started off with rappers like, bro, she did music with Eminem, and people hate saying it because he's like a white rapper, but like she did music with Eminem on like an album, not just the featuring artist somewhere.
Like she was producing, or she made an album with him.
She made an album with him on the album. It's not a duo album.
Okay.
There's so many other ones on there. I don't know why he was the first one I mentioned. Maybe that's conditioning. But also, I've been listening to some of her older albums, and like the way that she used orchestra in them, like in the sound. I don't know. It's just the way she puts her music together. You have to listen to it. Otherwise, it's you probably gonna dance to it if you're not listening to it. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. She does rap, she does singing, she did music with Beyonce. Like her collaboration list is crazy.
Yeah.
And also
great track record.
She's been active. Like she was I don't know how to explain it. Missy Elliott is a mogul because she put herself at the center of all of the development necessary to have success in her lane. So I think that's the best way for me to put it. She has great music, she has a great personality from what I've seen on interviews, and her work ethic got her into literally a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like she's a Hall of Famer.
She's
big
legendary.
name.
Missy Elliott, you're that girl.
So listen, the Angle podcast, right? This is a big deal. I have 6 million followers and subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, you do.
We will.
You do.
We are going to get Missy Elliott to see this based off of this big, huge fandom that we have here at the Angle. All right, guys. So I need y'all to work out magic. Y'all tag her. Y'all send her emails. We're gonna get Paradox and Missy Elliott in the same room. That's what the Angle is all about. Okay, let's go to another one, man. I'm so funny.
6 million. Y'all heard him.
Okay, so I have some questions in here that's a little bit playful, just to kind of like spice it up a little bit. So this is a little bit different.
You mean like cayenne spice or like cinnamon spice?
What's the first one you said?
Cayenne.
Let's go with cinnamon. Okay. So this is an old meme thing, and so I was kind of iffy, what I'm saying, with asking this specific question because it's old now. But I'm gonna bring it back. You remember seeing that meme about the different animals? You got the alligator, the snake, the lion, and the gorilla. You get to pick which one to fight for 30 minutes and survive, and you get $10 million. Which one are you picking to survive 30 minutes?
What were the choices again?
Alligator.
Absolutely not.
Snake, lion, gorilla. Now, you don't have to fight it necessarily. You just have to survive 30 minutes, and you get $10 million.
How big is the snake?
If I get to pick it, big enough to where it is worrisome, because you got a boa constrictor and you got the pythons that can get up to 10 feet long. I ain't gonna do you like that. Let's just say one that's probably about the height of you.
I'd probably fight the
snake. Okay.
Because what I'm gonna do against a gorilla?
There's nothing you can do with the gorilla. I don't know. And people were choosing that when that meme was floating around. People were choosing the gorilla. I don't know if they were serious or that was just part of the joke. Now, I think a lot of folks were realistically saying the alligator. I can see that. Yeah, alligators ain't. I don't think they just really finna come just get you like that. Like you kind of gotta provoke them. That's what I see plenty of videos with people messing with alligators and they don't do nothing.
You want to try being one of them people?
Yeah, I do it for $10 million. I do it. I need to,
But not a snake.
Nah, I'm actually terrified of snakes.
I'm terrified of snakes too, but also a snake ain't gonna cause as much damage as an alligator if it.
Snakes have venom. Like they
Don't get
can.
big.
How they almost as quick as a cat.
Stay out of reach.
Okay. Now I can say the same thing with the alligator. You stay you stay away from the alligator as much as you can. And then now they can't get fast if they want to. They kind of run at a spurt. They stop after a little while. As long as you're not in the water with the alligator, which I think by default you kind of have to be like close by the water. You don't get in the water. Stay out the water and stay off their back. You want to stay like in front of their face where you can see everything.
You want to stand in front of his face where you can see everything. Mm-hmm. I don't want to stand in the face of an alligator.
Well, I'm okay. I'm picking the alligator.
Okay.
She picking the snake.
Why you pick the alligator? Because in a way, it can either be outrun or like disabled just by distance.
Yeah.
And it ain't really gonna fight too hard for you.
Yeah, it's not gonna fight too hard.
But I still don't want to face an alligator.
But the thing is, like, okay, with an alligator, you run up a tree, you good. Snakes, you can't do that.
If you run up a tree, you better make sure that tree got enough limbs for you to run up. And if it don't, you're gonna be hugging that tree, waiting on that crocodile for 30 minutes. Alligator, excuse me. You gonna bear hug a tree for 30 minutes?
If it's gonna keep me safe for $10 million. This sounds like some Fear Factor stuff. And
the last one was a lion, right?
Lion and gorilla. Which is terrible options for anybody.
I'm sure a lion can run much faster than me.
Yeah, the gorilla too. They can walk on 2 feet. They gonna catch you.
I don't think the snake can run as fast as me.
Probably not. A snake kind of gotta sneak up on you. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like the answer. I just don't like snakes, so that's why I didn't pick the snake. Me personally.
I don't like snakes either, but if you're thinking only one, as long as it's not the serpent, the basilisk from Harry Potter, I think I'll be good.
Yeah, it's about the size of a building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another question. This is a good one. This is a very lighthearted question. I think you're gonna like this. I was writing this up, and I said I told my girlfriend. I said I think she's gonna like this. She was like, I think she's gonna like it.
Okay.
How would you bring peace to the world?
Ooh, have a big old music fest.
That's okay. Explain it, because I'm picturing the whole opposite. So what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a huge stage, a whole bunch of people in the audience, literally just listening to music that calms them the absolute down.
Okay.
Even if that music means just music that they like. If it's rock that calms you down because you get to release some emotions, listen to that. There may be a sector for you to go in there, release like a club almost. Okay.
You mean the mosh pit?
No, not a mosh pit.
Okay.
Just a stage and an audience space. If it turns into a mosh pit, it's officially harmful.
Okay, because that's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm thinking mosh pitch. When you say a big music festival, I'm thinking mosh pitch, drugs, sexual activity. Just because music is heavy, it's a heavy influence on music. So I guess it's really going to depend on the music that's there, that's getting played, and that's kind of what's going to lead what happens.
So let's circle back, because at the beginning of this interview, you said that the main focus that is on mainstream like radio plays is sex, drugs, money. And when you heard music festival, that's what you start to think. Music is so much more than that.
You are right. Okay, I see what you're saying. I made a mistake. Music is definitely more than that. And you're coming from a dancer, a producer, music is so much more than that. You are totally right.
So I think thank you. I think a music festival would heal the world, literally would bring world peace. Because when people are listening to the music that they like, they don't really care about anything else. Like when you play your music in your house and you getting your work done. You don't care about what nobody else got going on.
Mm-hmm.
When you playing your music and you doing your yoga, you don't care about what nobody else got going on. It's just I'm in my element. So if more people were able to get in their element, specifically with music, there would not only be more bonding, there would be more relationships, there would be a calmer heart rate, literally. Like
Yeah.
you could be more at peace with yourself.
So,
Go ahead.
what are the genres of music that you would like if you get to pick the playlist? Like, I'm gonna throw one in there. Afro beats definitely calms me down when it's the right song. What's that one Afro beats singer? It's not Tim's. Billionaire. I like that song a lot. It's okay. Tenny. We have an audience. Tenny. Song is called Billionaire. Have you heard it?
No.
It makes me feel good.
Okay.
So I feel like that genre of music with the right songs can make people just feel good.
So that's a great idea then. I guess it would have to be like a day-to-day thing, and maybe one of the days could be like Afrobeat.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it wouldn't just bring out listeners; it would bring out dancers because it makes you feel good. It's gonna make you move, and that's gonna create a whole other scene. So now you have this big scene full of people who are having fun, enjoying each other's company, and loving what's going on around them.
Okay.
So that's peaceful, even if it's loud. It's peaceful.
Loud and peaceful is a good way to be.
Yeah.
So what's some genres you would throw in?
We definitely gonna have to have hip hop in there. And I mean like rap. So maybe that's okay. I'm starting to distinguish. I would definitely have a rap hip hop combo, and that would be more so like let's talk to each other, like let's talk about it. So that's what that one would be about. Afro would be dance. That would be let's have a conversation. Another soul and R&B because who don't like to sing their heart out about something that they love or don't love, you know. So those are easy. The next 4 days would be kind of difficult because I need to expand my genres. We probably would have like soundtrack day, so from movie soundtracks, because I really like.
I know somebody that likes that type of music. And it's so weird. Like he's a big fan of movie sound. Like he sent me playlists of movie soundtrack music.
For example,
For example,
like what movie?
like I mean, like not like you got Billie Eilish and her song is on the movie. I'm talking about like ninja music, like action music. Like he was like the music that's just sound and it gets you ready for the scene.
Yeah.
He sends me those things, and it's like I've never seen it ever in my life. That's crazy.
Okay, so that's not exactly what I was thinking, but that would be really good. It would be like a cinematic version.
Cinematic, yeah, like a cinematic night. Okay, okay. We kind of making up this whole thing of how to heal the world through music, and I think this conversation is going well. This is more people should talk about this. This is like this. This could be a thing. It could be a 2025 thing where we heal the world with a big music festival. Would it be free or does it cost money?
You can probably get in free, but I mean, if you want some food, you got to pay somebody.
Okay. Somebody got to get paid.
Somebody got to get paid.
That makes sense. I'll just come and enjoy and I eat. I go to my mama's house first, and I eat. You know, she got some cheese dip for me, and I do that. My mom makes the best cheese dip.
I'll get your cheese dip then.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Then I come, so that way I ain't gotta worry about eating and paying up. Okay. I know I do like that though. Healing the world. I was really thinking about that question. I was like, I think she would really enjoy this question because I know that you're really into like spirituality, and understanding like how people function, peace and love. And so like I think that'd be a really good question for her specifically. So I'm glad you liked it.
It was definitely interesting. I gotta get those last two
So let's
categories
see.
though.
Now this question, this is what I was telling you earlier. If you want to answer, if you don't want to answer, I don't know too much, but I want to ask it. Mm-hmm. Does your family support your music dream?
Yes. Yes. There are some people in my life who have been to multiple shows, who always stream or just stream when I drop. And shout out to those folks because they definitely remind me how far I've come.
Mm-hmm.
There's I one of the cousins who always comes to my shows. Her name is Destiny. She now has a podcast as well with her friend. and she's been coming to my performances since before I really recognized myself as Paradox. So I don't know. Shout out to her for always supporting. Her dad also, my uncle Scoop, he always supported me in the music that I was doing. He'll even see the posts and respond to those and just, I don't know, pay attention. You know what I mean? My mom does because, of course, she loves me. She gonna support what I do. My sister, probably my biggest fan. I don't know. My family, I feel like my family does. They actually, a lot of them came out to an open mic that I did last year. Meet me at the park open mic. Um, and that made me feel really warm inside. It was really cool. So yes, in conclusion, yes, my family does support my music career.
That night that they all came out collectively, what did you perform? Was it open mic? Like, did you do a spoken word, or did you do music?
I did spoken word performances. I can't say that I was the proudest that day because I didn't necessarily show up as well as I should have.
Mm-hmm.
But I did poetry and I think I did some verses. They kind of translated into spoken word. It was a song, but of course I just spoke it. And then there were some of my artist friends, of course, came as well and performed, and that was really nice. I appreciated them for being there. My sister came and performed too. Um, so I think I don't remember the pieces I did. I think one of them is a song called "Chip Off My Shoulder," and one of them was "Ode to My Elders." I actually did that one that day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, um, shout out to Ode to My Elders. We got a video out. Go watch that. I don't think that they understood the point quite yet because I didn't tell them the plan for the poem, but that was okay because they saw the video. So that was really cool. I don't remember the other ones that I did, but those are the ones that I can't remember.
She just mentioned "Ode to My Elders." That's a project that we had worked on together. We collaborated on. She kind of just gave a big spoken word piece of something that was very meaningful to pretty much anybody. You can take it as an older person or a younger person and apply it to your life. And so what I did was I gave a dance piece to match the vibe and the mood of how she was doing her spoken word. It's all a cappella, so there's no music behind it to give more of an artistic feel. The link for it will be dropped in the description for that, and along with more of what she has going on. As we get toward the end, we'll talk about it. So you mentioned when you became, well, when you realized yourself as Paradox. I don't have that on my list of questions, and I don't know why. What does Paradox mean for you as your name? Like when you came up with that, like what is that for you?
It's always something different every time people ask that question.
That makes sense.
I'll say that it has been me finally acknowledging that I am an artist because that's kind of one of the first milestones you'll reach as an artist. Some people just feel like they do things because it's a talent and people like it. So, they put a name on it. But Paradox was defined because I wanted to be able to call myself something outside of just what I do in my day to day life. It's like my artist name. And when I say Paradox, I feel like it might not always be what people expect it to be. For example, I want to detach from performing. It's just right now that doesn't make sense because I'm trying to get more people to hear my music.
Okay.
So at some point, Paradox can probably be some 40-year-old blues singer because like he fits the idea of what Paradox means in music. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Paradox might not always be me. You know what I mean? It might be somebody else in the future. But right now, Paradox just allows me to exist artistically and develop in a way that is taken seriously. Because I think that I've done enough as an artist to be able to be considered like a success in a way, only because like I keep moving further from where I was before.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. For a while, Paradox, however, was just a conversation starter. Paradox, I wanted it to be something ironic, clearly. So Paradox, it makes perfect sense. But I feel like it's also because in most of the ways that we exist, we can find a paradox. For example, I live in this little bitty apartment at the time, and it doesn't look very pretty from the outside. But I was able to build my studio and record songs like Wanted. I was able to do rose-colored glasses, So it might not be exactly what you want it to be, but it's probably exactly what you need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
There are paradoxes in every way that we exist. So I like being identified with something that's confusing.
This is what art is, people. Basically, the way that she just laid that down. That's why I mess with art just in general. The art scene out here in Arkansas. She's one of my just favorite overall artists, and as you can see, based off how this conversation is going, how she describes herself, that it speaks for itself. You mentioned Wanted, and I know you've been promoting it, and I listened to it. I like it a lot. I really enjoy the way that the production is set up on Wanted, so I want to let you know that Wanted will be dropped. The link will be dropped here in the description as well. I might just try to put like a link of your Linktree with everything, or because some people like to like space it out and stuff. I'm gonna see, but I'm gonna put you on. I got 6 million subscribers. So I'm gonna put you on. It's not a big deal. I got you. I'm gonna share it. You know what I'm saying? So okay, I'm glad you answered that question. And that was a great answer to the question. So, what do you love most about music? I got some good questions here. It's crazy.
Most? I think the thing I love most about music is you can't take it away. You can't take it away. I think you can make music in any environment. You don't have to have instruments. You don't have to have a computer. You don't have to have a voice. You can make music anywhere. It just has to be something that you feel.
That's Are you saying we had an hour?
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I just wanted to know how.
What you mean?
You say you can make it without certain things. Like I want to know how. I just want to interrupt.
Okay, so you're a dancer.
Right.
You don't need words in your music, right? To dance. Okay. You also don't need instruments. You just need things to make sounds. So you know those videos we used to watch of people like performing with the pots and like the drumsticks?
Mm-hmm.
That's making music. You can make music anywhere. You don't have to have one of those pots. You can have your hands on the pavement. You can have, I don't know, you can have, if you're a singer, you can just sing it out. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a singer, you can just sing it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean it's not music. We just, the way we define music now is just product based. So if people got away from that, they would realize like you're there's no way to censor music and there's no way to take music away. It's just it just is. You saw August Rush, right? Did you see August Rush?
Say it again.
August Rush.
August Rush.
Yeah.
What's August Rush?
Dios mío. Okay. It's a movie about a little white boy. This little white boy has a musical inclination because he hears music in everything. So the bus is passed, he hears a horn. If people are playing basketball in the street, that sounds like a question to him. And he ends up going to this school, Juilliard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he becomes uh I think an orchestrative director or something like that. Because it's like his symphony. He wrote out a symphony. And now this amazing school is playing the music. Before all of that happens, however, he's an orphan. He doesn't know who his parents are, and he gets found by these children who are also talented in a way. So he's being kept in this, I guess, abandoned building with this man who's trying to control them.
Mm. This is a deep movie.
You gotta watch it. I don't know what it's on, but it's really cool.
I was just about to ask you where can I stream it at. It's called August
Rush.
August Rush.
Yeah.
We gotta find that. As y'all can see here at the Angle Podcast, I have 6 million subscribers, and that brings in the audience. So she was just speaking to. I'll just talk about it. We out here having a good time. Thank you for responding to her for that, because I know she wanted to know that really bad. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said nothing. She really wanted to know. So this one is going to be a little bit more controversial. How we looking on time right now? We good? Okay, so we good. I have wrote down songwriter beef, but it's from a post that you made a little while ago. I'm gonna try to refresh your memory. Basically, what happened was you were talking. It was a. You know what? I'm just gonna try to find it in my little gallery here. It was. I made sure I screenshot it and saved it.
That means it's actually gonna be my words.
Yes, yes, it will be. Okay. Now we getting somewhere. I'm gonna find it. It's getting close. Getting close. Don't y'all click out of here yet, because I'm getting close. I swear I know nope, it's not in there. It's on my other phone. This is my backup phone, and my what you call it, the cloud isn't all the way updated on this one, so that's why I don't. Yeah, no, I can describe it. It would be easier if I could just pull the picture up. So I'm probably just going. Yeah, it's on one of these. It's on one of these clouds. It's all good. So basically, what it was, where you were talking about how songwriters need more recognition, not about like just being famous, but it's about like they're getting disrespected by some of the artists that use songwriters, like ghostwriters and stuff like that. Like it's about how songwriters should get paid more for what they do, recognized more for what they do, because without having a decent or good songwriter, some of the artists would be on stage kind of just not able to function. They just wouldn't have a whole lot to offer. Like songwriters kind of are like the skeleton of what goes on in music, and it's very important. So I know you were very passionate about it on that post. Is it kind of ringing a bell? You shared a meme about it on your story, and I screenshotted it a little while ago.
I don't remember the meme, but I will always be able to have that conversation. Um, the reason I feel so passionately about songwriters is because we're able to create what a lot of people feel like just gets pulled out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that it's necessary to acknowledge songwriters more, because like I was saying, without a songwriter, you may have a talent, you may have a skill, even vocally, performance wise, but you won't have anything to apply it to. And unless you're a singer songwriter, being a singer or a performer with no music, not being able to write a song, you're always going to be counting on somebody else to make you successful. So, songwriters have the perspective, like the one we kind of just had to point out, not being able to make music out of anything. How do you not make music out of anything? You just got to make a sound, right? There's a certain level of understanding that songwriters have when it comes to building the environment for like framing an artist in a way. I don't like that. That sounds like criminal. Being a songwriter allows us to translate emotions, to translate experiences into something that is consumable to the listener. That makes sense?
Okay.
So, like I was saying, we really don't get a lot, and I'm saying this from a premature perspective. I gotta say that out loud. We really don't get a lot of recognition just being able to do what we do naturally, in the same way a lot of other people are able to do what they do naturally and get recognition.
Gotcha.
So as a songwriter, if I decide one day I don't want to sing anymore, now technically I can submit this music to a bunch of different places and just, or ask people, can you put this in your video? Can you put this in your podcast? Can you put this in your movie? You know what I mean? There's always going to be a place for music, but there's not always going to be a place for artists or performers who don't write for themselves, unless they make it known that I don't write for myself.
Gotcha.
You have artists like The Dream, who's a songwriter who wrote for, I believe, Beyonce at one point. You have artists like Leon Thomas III, who wrote for SZA or collaborated with SZA. You have artists like Missy Elliott, who also wrote for Fantasia. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes as a songwriter, you don't always have to be out and about in order to be successful.
Right.
But, and this is a comparison thing, so keep that in mind. But as an artist, you can show your face. If your personality ain't gonna catch them, they're not gonna listen to the music. I don't know what it is about me focusing on artists, because I'm also an artist and a songwriter. But let me get back on track. One of the things that I mentioned was that songwriters don't get paid enough, right? So when you go to not pay, when you go to like register music, you have to register on so many different places just in case somebody is there to look at it. And technically, you're copywritten as soon as you put it on paper or as soon as you sing it out, it's yours because I mean it came from you. It's your as long as you're not plagiarizing, it's yours. But to a certain extent, as a songwriter, if somebody else does it first, it's theirs. So when it comes to the payment part, you have to prove yourself so much to be able to get a coin back. Like, not only are there splits, there are like income problems that we have to think about. I don't make money from music right now, and that's fine. I've only been doing this since like what 2020 by myself, just being able to make it. But it's like once I started making it, I realized okay, when I write this song, I have to register it on a PRO. I have to make sure it has a plan because if it doesn't have a plan, it's gonna sit here and do absolutely nothing. Okay, now it has a plan. Do I have a video? Okay, if I don't have a video, that means I have to promo it more. If I'm having to pay for promo, that's more out of my pocket. But when it comes to getting money back, it only depends on how it's registered when it comes to the artist because it's attached to the artist's face. If they decide that they just want to pay you to write the song and then not ever talk to you again, and you sign those rights away, they can do that. You don't ever get to say, "I wrote that song again." That's their song. That's all there is to it. Like it doesn't matter that you wrote the song. It just matters that they're doing something else with it. Does that make sense?
It's making sense.
So that was a big ramble in a way, but I feel like I feel so passionately about it because it's not just something that you can take a certification class for and be able to do it. You know what I mean? It's
songwriting kind of got to be in you, kind of thing.
It has to be something that you're passionate about. Because even if you're not, even if it's not in you, you can go to school for music. You know what I mean? And you can learn how to translate it to people who are going to listen to it. But if it's not coming from nowhere inside of you, like you're always listening and using what somebody else does as a songwriter, you can make yourself the canvas in a way. And the cool thing about songwriting is we get to develop our own style. We get to do it the way that we want to do it so that it can continue to grow. I don't know. I just think unless you're getting like royalties for writing a song because it's gonna keep getting played, it's not gonna matter that you're a songwriter because it won't make you real money. You can register it and get an upfront payment, but that's probably gonna be obsolete by the time you actually get to do something with it because of how much everything is increasing. You know what I mean? Like unless the acknowledgement of songwriters is as forefront as the acknowledgement of artists, it's always going to be like a negative experience because like unless you learn how to network, you're not going to know what to do.
Okay. I see why. Because yeah, it was definitely a big deal when you posted about it, and now getting more of the forefront. Yeah, it's on this phone I'm recording on. I just can't pull it up on this one, but I'm gonna send it to you after. You know, so just so you can have that peace of mind.
Hopefully, I can clarify because that sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Let's see. So, because I knew my next question was going to be about songwriting as well. Are you wanting to be a ghostwriter or a public singer songwriter?
I don't want to have to sing publicly. I would love to be a ghostwriter, but I don't want it to be the ghost part because I definitely want my name attached to the song. That's how I feel. Like I don't mind if, for example, if I ever wrote a song for Ice Spice, since we mentioned her earlier, like I would need for it to be in the paperwork. Like anytime this song is performed, I'm gonna have to get something back for it because it came out of my brain, it came out of my body. I would love to be a ghostwriter, but people have to know that I have a good pen first.
Yeah. How do you think that works in the music industry? Do you think they just share ghostwriters and they be like, so Drake would tell Tyga, oh, I got a guy, you know what I'm saying? We don't put his name on there like that, but I recommend him to you. As long as he getting paid, he good. You think it's just work like that? Or like how does the ghostwriter get their name floated around in the music industry?
Ghostwriters, I honestly have no idea. If I had to guess, they would probably be like engineers slash producers who were producing
Mm-hmm.
and then was like, oh, they like the beats. I wonder if they'll like the chorus on it. Or if they like the song, I wonder if they'll perform it because I don't want my name attached to it. Like, I
Okay.
wonder, I honestly don't know how they do it, but if I was to guess, I would think that they have like multifaceted talent and then they just kind of fill in whenever they're able to. Because, I mean, technically, Future was a ghostwriter, but he didn't intend to be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think it might be a relationship thing. Like, I know somebody who does this, like you said, and they just kind of build off of that because that person continues to get bookings, like
Yeah.
continues to get work based on these
I
recommendations.
believe was it SZA or was it? I don't know if it was SZA or Summer Walker. Could I get them when they came out? I don't know why I got them confused. I'm gonna probably get some flack for that. But was SZA the songwriter first, and then she started making music and started making it big with music?
First,
Like she was a songwriter for people first. She was writing people's songs first.
I don't know. I can't answer that question with like,
The audience is saying yes.
okay.
Okay, so it was yeah. SZA has a really interesting sound, and I heard her name before I heard her music, and so I think that's kind of dope. Trying to be being a songwriter, and you are known first, and now you coming out with your own music, and it's like, oh, and now it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's a big thing. It's like an onion, like a layer of onions, no onion of layers. Excuse me. I was up at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I woke back up at 10 to take my mama out. I'm running on fumes, but we here.
Okay.
Okay.
We good.
I got more questions.
Let's go.
So let's see. Oh, I love this one because I have a suggestion, and I don't know. I'll see how you feel about it. Arkansas artists that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with.
Realistic, Ken Davis. I saw artists. There's so many actually. I still haven't worked with DQMC. I don't think he's out here anymore. But who else? I would like to work with Kimmy Renee. And
Mm-hmm.
she also plays instruments, like more than one, bass and a flute, as far as I know right now. Um, I still want to work with Trip Trav. I haven't worked with him yet. Um, it's a lot of people that I want to work with.
Yeah, Trip is a vibe. His music is a vibe type deal. Mm-hmm.
I love Trip. Who else? I think those are off the top of the head right now. It's gonna be some more people pop up. I'm just not quite sure. So I think the only reason that I haven't worked with said artists is because like sometimes I'll be like, "You're a big artist," and I'll be like, "I'm just a little songwriter," and the whole comparison thing comes into play, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe let me get some more music out first, and I'm gonna see." You know what I mean? It's really like that. I wouldn't even blame them. I don't think I've asked them directly, but yeah, I feel like I have to build my confidence up a little bit more so that I could walk into more doors more confidently.
Okay. Now I know all these names, and I genuinely feel like a lot of all of them would love to work with you. I'm pretty sure they're hearing what you got going on, and I will put some money on it. My suggestion is a little bit biased because just I'm really cool with him, and he got some of my favorite music that I heard from the city. And I know he's not from Little Rock, but he be out here. I'm a big fan of Langston. I was always interested in hearing like what y'all would sound like together. I was like, what would happen if I put them two together and they made a song? How would I feel about this song? What do you think about that?
I would love to work with Langston Okinawa.
Yes.
I don't know what the song would sound like, honestly. It might be a love song, only because like not only because he writes really great love songs.
Yeah.
I don't know if he acknowledges them that way sometimes, but he writes really great love songs, and I like R&B. So I don't know. It might be like a freestyle session that turns into a nice jam, you know. And I don't know if it was more concrete, like more concrete, then maybe I don't know. I could like send him a beat or something if you like it. I don't know. Like I
I
don't have an idea of like what type of songs to write as a collaboration with Langston.
but you would be interested in that mashup.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really like Langston's sound. You know how people get on the mic and they sound good on the mic? That's what
Yeah.
I feel like with him and the honeycomb pattern. I really like Langston's music. And I'm hoping one day he gets back. He mentioned it, getting back into it, but I hope he like really takes himself up on that and does it because I'm a big fan of Langston. Like
Agreed.
so, okay. I just want to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what we can do. See how we can shake it up on the podcast. Okay, a few more questions here. This is another one of those little questions, just just a little filler episode.
Okay.
Favorite destination place to visit?
I'm not sure. I haven't traveled much, but I'll say my favorite place that I've actually ever gone as like a destination was a beach.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. I feel like it was the first time I saw the Earth is something bigger than the United States, um, which is really cool. But I would have to travel more to be able to answer that question.
Do you know what state you were in when you visited that beach?
It was Long Beach,
California.
Mississippi.
Oh, Mrs. Oh, excuse me for not knowing. I legit thought you was about to say Long Beach, California. Okay, Long Beach, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, yeah. I hope you're able to get to travel some more. I kind of have been able to. College helped me with that a little bit, like some trips that we've taken, and then sometimes I just be going places with no money, and it's not the best thing to do, but you get to go. But hopefully you get to experience some of that because traveling is pretty cool. I don't even know my favorite place. I mean, I got a couple favorite places. I love Florida. I love Kansas City, Missouri. Um, That's it. Those are my favorite places that I've been to. And I've been to quite a few places.
Where you going to Missouri? What's in Kansas
Kansas
City?
City, Missouri. They got. I don't know. I just like it. Like it's just nice out there. Like I had a good time when I go. I was out there, for a college trip, and I was walking down the little downtown city area, and this lady was street performing, and I never seen nothing like this in person. She was a Statue of Liberty, but she didn't have like the little thing. She was just kind of painted in like white solid. And she just stood there. And everybody was just kind of like, oh, what she's doing? And she wouldn't move. She didn't move until you put a dollar in there.
Well,
And so she would be standing like this. You put a dollar in. She kind of, and I'm like, oh my God, this is magic. It was the craziest thing to me. And I danced and I was like, but I just love the way that she moved. She had a way that she moved. It was like, it was very majestic. It was cool. And the food out there was really good to me. With the burger was good. I didn't really care too much for the barbecue sauce. I was upset because I went to a spot and the guy said, "Oh, you from the South? You gonna like this barbecue sauce? I promise you." And he brought it to me, and it was not it. I was like, "All right, bro, you kind of you losing points right now with Kansas City, Missouri." But I'm gonna tell you, we got the points back.
okay.
Me and my homeboy, we were having to do this project. That was the purpose of us being there for the college. But we had a lot of free time. The project was done before we left the campus, so all we had to do was pretty much just prep it, practice it, get ready to present it. So we had a lot of free time. We went out to eat. Me and my homie. We were talking so well, having such a good conversation that we left the restaurant. We paid for it. Left the restaurant. He left his wallet, and so we just walking. Our waitress was chasing us for 3 blocks with his wallet in her hand, like, hey, you left your wallet. Like, people out there are so freaking nice. And I've been there like 3 or 4 times, and I get the hospitality. I went out there and I street performed, and this little kid came up to me and said, "Hey, I want to be like you when I grow up." I had like a big crowd of people watching me, and they would just love what I was doing. Like the vibe of Kansas City, and then the parties. Nowadays, people when they go to parties and clubs, they don't dance. It's kind of like a dress to impress, who twerked the best. Like that's what you see in Kansas City, Missouri. They go like everybody out there dancing for real. Kind of like how my girlfriend says with going to Louisiana. I don't like Louisiana as much as she does, but in Kansas City, Missouri, I went to like 5 different clubs. Everybody in there dancing. It don't matter who it is, what you're doing. Everybody having a good time. They're not looking at you funny, and the music was good. I really like Kansas City, Missouri. I was like, I could. I visited a college, KC, nice college. I would have went there if the cars aligned, but it's I like it.
Nice.
I like Kansas City.
It sounds like a lot of fun out.
It's
Like,
very
a lot
fun.
of community fun.
I want to take her out there. There was a little kid who was doing entrepreneur. He was selling wallets or something, and his mom was like his business partner, but she let him like he was a little black kid, and she let him lead everything. People would come to this table like, I'm selling this. What you need? I got you here. He was like 8 years old or something. Businessman. Like it was just dope. It's so dope out there. Dudes out there performing their music. It was just Kansas City, Missouri is nice.
He gonna be a millionaire.
Okay, that's just yeah. And Florida kind of speaks for itself. So everybody know about Florida. I like Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, you should try Florida. Food is fantastic, and the weather is fantastic, and there's a lot to do, and it's vibey people. You should try Florida. I like Florida. Okay, so we got the little timer thing, but we having a good time in the conversation. I ain't worried about it.
All right.
I got like 4 questions left. What advice? I wrote this wrong. What advice would you give your younger self?
Don't listen to them. So that was a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Don't listen to them, because the only time as a little girl I ever doubted myself was when I told somebody else something I was excited about first. And since I didn't quite understand perspective at the time,
Mm-hmm.
it the response would always seem negative. Um, if I had gone through my childhood with the confidence that I have now,
Mm-hmm.
I would have known that like people were only offering what they could. If that makes sense. Um, Even if that's just an opinion. If that's all they have on the subject, that's all that they can offer. So if I would have told myself, if I would have saw myself as a little girl and like just read my energy, I probably would have been able to tell like some. I probably would have been able to tell that I needed more life spoken into, and that's cool. Um, I think the only life I would have been able to give myself at that time that made sense was don't listen to them.
I feel like that's a really good answer. I think a lot of people would actually feel and be able to what's where I'm looking for. They get it, like they get it. I get it. It's a word, and it's like not in my mind right now. I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. But they would rock with that. I think a lot of people would actually agree because they've had similar experiences. So, do you have any aspirations outside of music, like career wise, that you're chasing? Something that you kind of want to also be known for, or be like a means of income, or like another passion?
Mm-hmm. I went on a restaurant. I have a very specific idea for the restaurant, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. But I also want it to be intertwined with entertainment, so it'll be like a experience as opposed to a restaurant. You go in because you know that you're gonna see something that you haven't seen before. You go in because not only are you gonna get good food, you're gonna get good entertainment, and you're gonna learn something that
Mm-hmm.
you weren't expecting to learn while you were eating your food. So yeah, I want to be not only a songwriter, audio engineer, and artist. I want to be a restaurant, and I've had that aspiration since I was a child.
And you will be able to do all those things because there's nothing that you cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely come to the restaurant. As long as you have wings, I will be there. I gotta do better at trying new foods and stuff, which I'm doing that now, getting a little bit older and maturing just in life. So I don't know what you're gonna sell, but I'm gonna come and I'll try to, I perform myself. So I get on stage.
Exactly.
And no problem. Okay.
It's gonna have to be that good lemon pepper though, the real kind, not that kind mixed up with the other.
I just had some lemon pepper wings the other night when I got into town. I went out with my guys. We went to the Top Golf that just got built out here in Little Rock, and they wings were immaculate. Immaculate.
I might go just for the wings. No, I can't eat that right now.
Okay. You on a little diet thing?
I'm on the cleanse.
On the cleanse. My homie, he's on the salt food diet, so he can't eat a lot of stuff. Right? He upset about it. I'm upset for him because there's some things that he can't eat right now. That's okay. Yeah, he gonna be all right though. He almost done. So let's see.
You got it.
Ultimate goal as an artist.
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So as an artist, I want to be able to perform without being scared.
Ooh. You be scared?
Yes. Performing is scary. And I feel like the only reason it's scary for me, not the only, one of the main reasons it's scary for me is because I don't consider myself to be a vocalist. I consider myself to just be a songwriter. And because I'm a songwriter, I have to perform. Otherwise, people won't hear the songs. Learning how to sing the songs well, to perform the songs well, is just as hard as a songwriter because I didn't write it for my voice. So I have to train my body and my voice to be able to perform the things that I'm writing. Otherwise, it's just gonna be something that's on paper or in my head for the rest of my life. But yeah, I'm scared of performing. So if I ever get on the stage and I'm just like not fearful anymore, I feel like I'm a successful artist.
You do a really good job at masking that because you be the most confident person when you on the stage when I'm seeing it. And I enjoy your performances. So and the energy be high. I be like, okay, Paradox coming up. I'm finna have a good time. So I didn't know that, and I appreciate you being vulnerable in that and being honest about it. That's tight. So
cool.
Okay, thank you. I mess with that. So that's pretty much the last real question. Okay. The last thing I have here on the list is more of just a request. I would like for you to, and I'm gonna do this for all of my guests who are of color, in the community that we share. Mm-hmm. Drop a gem for the Black community. Give us something to go off of. Some motivation, some aspiration, some something.
I don't know if it'll be motivational, but a gem would be. I don't know how I'm gonna word this, but I'm gonna make it make sense. Mm-hmm. Take care of your body as much as you destroy your body.
That is fantastic.
So, just to elaborate a little bit, a lot of us feel comfortable and safe with our lifestyle because it has maintained us for so long. But when you think about it from a cellular perspective, if you are giving your body more junk and trash than you are giving it things that feed its health and help it fight against illness and stuff, mm-hmm. you are going to experience illness and it's going to affect you in a way that you weren't expecting. So ain't nothing wrong with eating your chicken, but make sure you also eating your spinach. Because I learned this a while ago. Balance makes a difference. Balance makes the complete difference. And I think that's the gem. Make sure that you are helping your body as much as you are destroying it.
That is I think that's actually perfect for me specifically, and I'm hoping that it also touches somebody in my 6 million subscriber audience. That I'm a dancer and I don't smoke and drink, but it's still other aspects and things that you have to do to take care of yourself. I want to be able to dance as long as possible, like maybe into my 40s, so I can still get performances or teach or something, or I can still just dance in my living room and feel good, right? You got to do your yoga, you got to drink your water, and you got to eat right. My problem has been with the eating thing. I've been trying to clean the way that I eat, but growing up, and I know this is going to sound real childish, I'm a grown man, I'm not a big fan of vegetables. And I'm ashamed of it, but it's just I can't get past the taste. But I know everybody's saying it's good for you, it's going to make you feel better. And I can say I have it's a clear difference. I do a lot of fruit salads now. I do stay away from red meats often. So every once in a while I have a burger and I kind of go a week or two without eating it. That's the best I can do right now on a personal level. But I do a lot of fruit salads and mostly chicken and fish and cutting down on sweets. I don't eat a whole lot of sweets and drinking mostly water. If I go out, I get a Sprite when I'm hanging out, but I don't do a lot of sodas anymore. A lot of juices. I drink V8 juices and orange juice and waters, and it's been going well. But I know I still need the other element that I'm missing because it's all about the balance. My girlfriend tell me every day, "You're doing good, but you're not balanced enough." And I be like, "Okay, give me credit though." We be arguing about it.
Um, and give her credit too because she's trying to extend your life.
No, I do.
But I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't speak on the way that you eat. But I can say that the easiest way to incorporate vegetables is to make them in a way that you know you're gonna like them. It doesn't always have to be something that's like raw. Like I know we're all trying to get closer to raw, vegan, alkaline. Like that's as a movement that's happening. But if you shock your system, you're just gonna be like, I don't like this.
That makes sense.
And you're just gonna regress back. But if you make like what vegetables have you like? It can't just be all vegetables. You know what I mean? There's a lot.
There's a lot of vegetables. So what vegetable can I stomach? Is what you're asking?
I guess.
You know more than me. What do I?
Sweet peas.
Corn ain't a vegetable though, right? But sweet peas is.
You just eat them plain, like
Sweet peas. Yeah, I can use. Yeah.
so. Maybe find a way to use sweet peas as like an ingredient for another meal. Maybe if you blend them up into something that's like a dip or something, it might taste better to you. Or corn, like corn can be used in a whole bunch of different ways. You can boil it, you can cut it off the cob, you can make it look like you can make corn a whole bunch of different types of ways.
Yeah, it's a
You
lot
just
of
have to
ways.
make it in a way that you feel complements your taste buds. Like I don't know. Like one thing about me, I'm gonna give an example. Like I can't eat. I love tomatoes, right? I can grow tomatoes. I can eat them raw. I can just eat tomatoes. But I also know that I really like tomatoes when they are like chopped up with salt and pepper. You know. So if I know that I'm gonna eat tomatoes because they're gonna be good for me because of the vitamin C, I'm just do it that way because I know I won't be like saying, "Oh my God, I have to eat a tomato for my health." Like it's that's not exciting. But if you eat it
You
because
get
like
it.
you know you're gonna like what you eat, and that's different. And maybe once you get like that balance of like flavor or the way that you cook it, you can take away some of the stuff that's not as healthy, for example, like the oil or the butter that you're cooking it in, or whatever it is. So it's like a transition, and it's not something that you're just gonna do flat out unless it's probably for your health.
Gotcha.
But just do it in a way that you know you're gonna like it, and stop trying to eat food in the way that people are telling you to eat it.
Well, guys, that's for me. If that and that relates to you, you know what I'm saying, take that and run with it. But the overall gist of what the advice that you're giving is about taking care of your body the same way that you harm it. That can go over in so many different ways. I just wanted to, get some advice on some things that I'm doing in my personal life. But that's what the podcast, The Angle, is all about. It's about getting perspective. It's about motivating. It's about uplifting, and it's about uplifting the black community, men and women, and that's what we're here to do on The Angle. And I feel like you uphold those standards. That's why I got you on the podcast, as well as the work that you've done, the work that we have done together, and the amount of time that we've known each other, and just how much I respect what you do and you as a person. Very glad that you came on. I was very excited about this episode. Glad we were able to get it done.
This was fun.
So listen, I'm going to be dropping several links, or maybe one big link with everything that she has on it. But I want you guys to check out what she got going on. It's amazing stuff. One of my favorite artists from Arkansas, out of Arkansas, and just I'm glad we're doing this now before she makes it big, so y'all can say, "Oh, I saw her. She was with Derek." Yeah, I'm here now. But anyway, guys, this is the Angle Podcast, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later. You got any last words for the audience?
Thank you for listening. I hope y'all find something in my discography that you like. Make sure you check out Ode to My Elders. Y'all see me again at some point. I love y'all.
Peace out.